welcome to the Ultimate Self-Defense Championship Season 3 Contender Introduction Series. Before the show goes live on November 2nd, starting from now, every Sunday I will be introducing one of the 8 contenders who competed for the Ultimate Self-Defense Champion title. Not only will you get to know more about them, but I'll also be asking them your questions. So make sure to check out Martial Arts Journey YouTube channel's community section, where you can pose your questions to the next contender. And now, without further ado, let's get to know one of the USDC Season 3 contenders.
Seth, great to see you again. The last time we saw each other was a few months ago in Lithuania in the Ultimate Self-Defense Championship.
That's right. That's right.
How did you feel coming back from that experience?
Different than I felt season 1. Season 1 was difficult and fun. Season 3 was still difficult and fun, but like it was a different vibe.
I would also say, and we're gonna get to that through the questions, I'm pretty sure, but you were also different. Would you say that?
Yeah.
Self-evident for you, but for me, I was like, hey, this dude changed, like in the most best possible way.
Yeah, no, I felt like performance-wise, even pre-performance, I handled everything a lot differently this year than I did before. Felt like preparation was a lot smoother. Even though I had more difficulties leading up to the event, by the time everything was going on, I was a lot calmer and felt like I could handle the storm a little bit better.
There's a bunch of questions I'm going to ask you from the audience, so this is going to naturally pop up, so I'll keep that for a little bit later. But before we head to the questions, how would you introduce yourself these days to like a random person?
That's a good question. I am Seth. I have been doing and teaching karate since I was 4 and have explored many martial arts since then, some of which I've liked, some of which I have not. Competitively, I've found most of my happiness in sumo recently, 2-time national champion, and just enjoyer of martial arts.
And to add to that, you've tried over 40 different martial arts. Did you reach 50 by now?
No, I don't think I'm quite at 50. I would say like 45 maybe. It's fine. It's becoming hard to find them at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I got to catch them all or something.
That's still cool. And yeah, so sumo champion, and sumo is a big part of your life these days, would you say?
Yes. Yeah. I guess at this point, have I gone to Worlds? Like, what's the story? What's the timeline? My video comes out Saturday.
Oh, Sunday. Yes. Perfect.
So this is Sunday. Yeah. So at this point, you've already seen the Worlds video, hopefully. I won't give any spoilers to that, but that was the season 3 conclusion, or maybe the season 2 conclusion. I feel like was this last Worlds. Like, you know how shows have seasons.
Yeah. So it's like
you've run a few seasons. Yeah,
I'm into seasons. Yeah. So it's like sumo season 2. You'd say
season 2's done. Yeah. Now I get to reevaluate and make some decisions moving into season 3.
Nice, exciting. And then everyone who haven't seen the video yet, let's go watch the video.
Yeah.
Right after you finish this one.
Right after this one. Right after this one.
So let's not ruin that watch time.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to the exciting part for the audience. There's the questions. So starting with any different mindset or strategies going into this, into season 3, than in the previous season. And did it work? Obviously, it's always hard to talk about without spoiling things, but mainly, did you have a different mindset and strategy going into season 3?
What's funny is I don't think I had a different mindset or strategy for the action. I think the execution was different. I felt better about the execution in almost every challenge. But the mindset beforehand, I feel like I was a lot calmer this time around, even though I didn't know what was happening. I think it'll come off in the show that like during some situations I did my best to relax before the situation started. I kind of tried to be one with the environment a lot. I think as far as what I was going to do when stuff kicked off, I didn't really change much. Punch, kick, grapple, move people with a big body. That was all kind of the same.
Nice. Actually, I just realized because, again, we know each other quite well by now, and I expect and assume people watching this are like, oh, I know Seth. But for those who don't, I didn't really make it clear that you've been part of season 1. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so just so that everyone is included.
Oh, yeah, I was in
you've
season
been
1.
part of the season 1, and now you're back in season 3, which is super exciting.
Yeah.
So just so people know what we're talking about, because a lot of questions, they obviously come from fans, and they know that you've
Sure.
been in both seasons, and they know about your sumo journey, so they're very much about that. But just
just to clue you guys in, I lost season 1 in devastating fashion to a
by
last second armbar.
Single point or something.
Oh,
or 2
I
points?
think it was by a single point by a single second.
Yes, correct.
Oh,
So close. But
Oh.
there's the redemption arc. That's
Yeah.
back in season 3.
I am back in season 3.
Awesome. Okay, let's get at the next question. So what parts of sumo would you say are best suited for self-defense? And is it suited for self-defense in general?
I would say it's not as suited as other martial arts or other combat sports, just because it has like a pretty area-based rule set. But I would say a lot of the aggressiveness is huge. I would say takedowns are big. Falling on top of someone rather than like sacrificing yourself to get a throw. Palm strikes are good at headbutts. There's a headbutt or 2 in there, a little forearm shiver. But I would say definitely a finish. Got to be careful how I word this. Finish the person off quickly. Mindset. While also trying to keep composure throughout.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds great. Now, the next one. How much did the sumo training change things? And somebody loves you and is rooting for you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say, how much did it change things?
Because also to recap a little bit, in season 1, you were already on your sumo journey, which helped you very much in the sumo challenge and in the bus. I guess already it helped you there.
It helped me a pretty fair amount, but it was, I'd only been doing it for like a year, maybe. I don't think even that long at that point, maybe like a couple months. But I would say it's helped a lot with my balance. It's helped a lot with the takedowns. Manipulating people who are bigger than I am, which it's hard to tell sometimes it's hard to tell if somebody's bigger than you or not. Are we allowed to say the names of the bad guys?
Yeah, sure. I mean, especially because I am pretty sure that a lot of viewers are going to actually watch these once the show's out. Like episode 1, episode 2, and they'd be like, now I want to know the contestants. So feel free.
Fair. Paulus, he was definitely bigger than me. So having wrestled people who were bigger than me in the past, it gave me a little more confidence to go in with him. Did that confidence work? Well, I guess you figure that out. But I think it helped me a pretty good amount having ironed out some of those things in sumo. Yeah.
Also, too, this is an add-on from me personally, but you also, I don't know if you did a lot of competitions prior to sumo, because sumo was like, you were like now going to competitions.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that going to competitions, because it's a lot of stress, nerves, adrenaline, do you think that also helped you become more calm in the show?
Yeah, 100%. That's a great point. Having lived with the nerves on more occasions, it made everything a lot easier by the time I got to season 3. That's a great point.
Did you train with Icy Mike to prepare for this? This is, I believe, the most upvoted question.
Is it? That's awesome.
Before we continue, I have some cool news. The Atomic Bay returns as a sponsor for Season 3, and now you can win their Stealth Pen Pro absolutely free. When you hear improvised weapon, you probably don't think a pen. But the Stealth Pen Pro is not an ordinary ink pen. Yes, it writes really well with a sharp and responsive ballpoint tip, but its real advantage is the rock-solid grip for unparalleled retention and stopping power. The Stealth Pen Pro also also hides a glass breaker for car safety and reveals DNA catching teeth for that extra blast of impact. Last season, Jesse Encom and Nathan Levy ended 3 knife attacks with this very pen. So if you want one, don't wait. Enter now at theatomicbear.com/USDC. We'll run a new giveaway every week, and every entry also scores you a shot at the luxurious Guardian Titanium Pen Grand Prize. Now back to the Q&A.
Icy Mike has prepared me through life. Really. I didn't train with Icy Mike specifically for this, because he would have been like, just do what you're gonna do. But I have trained. I think training with Icy Mike in the past has helped. It wasn't like we're doing this for this, but being in his presence at all has benefited me towards this.
And didn't you do a pepper spray video with Josh Beam and Ice Mike prior to USDC? Was that prior?
Was it prior?
I think it was. I'm not sure anymore because
Dude, what is time?
Josh spoke about. He's like, "Oh, I've been pepper sprayed before," but I'm not sure if he said it after the championship or during the championship. Regardless,
Dude, I have no clue. That's crazy, man. That guy really hit me hard in the USDC 3 because I don't remember at all.
I see, but regardless, that's one of those moments where you spent with Icy Mike and his wisdom rubbed off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, the pepper spraying him in both eyes separately, I don't know if that helped me, but maybe it made me appreciate life a little bit more.
I appreciated not being pepper sprayed while I was watching that video as well.
See, it helped everybody. Realistically, it was for the people.
Did you have an extra focus on using sumo for the challenges?
There's a couple. I felt like I never watched the show as a kid, but I understood the premise. Do you remember Ben 10?
I know the premise as well.
Yeah, where he like yeah, that's what I was trying to do. Any given challenge, I was like, this is a good opportunity to use this. Sumo came up a couple times. Kickboxing came up a couple times.
Karate? Kicks?
Karate, for sure.
Or would you consider those? Because slight spoiler, but people expect it. You did some awesome kicking in season 3. Would you call it kickboxing or karate?
There was some of it that is kickboxing, and there's some of them that I got from karate. There's one specific move in this season that I would be like, that was karate.
Nice.
Yeah.
Exciting.
But no more than usual, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So what you weren't focused on, like, because I, as a director, I told you this even before we filmed the show. I'm like, I'm gonna push you as a sumo guy this time. You're like a high degree karate black belt.
Sure.
But you weren't like fully being like, because like I think Josh Beam did this a little bit. Jordan in season 2 definitely did it, where they were like, I'm gonna represent jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You weren't going in like, I'm gonna focus mostly on sumo. You used whatever was available and reasonable at the moment, probably, right?
I did. I think there was a couple moments where I maybe even talked to camera and was like, I'm going to sumo this guy right now.
Right.
Yeah, that does happen a few times. I can't say more.
Yeah. Got it. But it wasn't like your goal to be like, I'm gonna be the sumo guy. You were Seth, essentially.
Yeah.
What were the biggest differences from season 1 to season 3 that you didn't expect production wise?
I expected some differences. Sorry.
Good.
No, I expected some differences. Sleeping on a bed. No, we did sleep on a bed.
True,
it was just a very
kinda
low bed that was directly on top of gym floor. But no, production-wise differences. Literally everything. Everything was higher production this year than it was before. Which is partially thanks to Rokas, but also really partially thanks to you guys for watching all this. Because if you weren't watching and contributing, then like this wouldn't be possible. All of the locations are next level. It felt like I was a part of something bigger. It's insane. Anytime somebody's like, "Hey, give me like a little bit of details on season 3," I'm like, I can't say much, but it's nuts.
It will be nuts. Glad to hear it.
Yeah.
I believe Chubby Surprise, is it, side question, is it your creation? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was should I? Yeah, go ahead.
I made up the Chubby Surprise. on a whim, actually. So a lot of people probably don't know the origin story of Chubby Surprise.
Yeah, tell us.
The
Tell
origin story is I was sparring with Wonder Boy for the very first time, and he was just absolutely smashing me, of course, which is like a given. And we were just he was letting me play on the inside, and I threw a head kick. And then the round ends, and he's like, dude, did you kick me in the head? And I looked at the camera and I went, that's the Chubby Surprise. And then for whatever reason, it stuck.
Is it like ethical to bring up this question?
No, yeah,
like,
you can use the Chubby Surprise.
Okay,
the
because
Chubby
I love
Surprise
it.
is the nature of not expecting a larger person to be able to do what they are.
Which is 100% like that. That's from the first moment I met you. And I mean, we eventually met. Essentially, we met and immediately went to the beach to push. The beach.
You're right. The beach.
Push each other,
yeah.
And then soon enough, we're like fighting each other on the bus. So our meeting we went to action quite quickly.
Yes, we did.
And from that moment on, and for many moments again, I'm like, I totally see what's the Chubby Surprise. I'm like, oh my god! And even like to the attackers in season 3, I was telling the attackers, do not be fooled. Seth is an amazing athlete. He's so fast. He's so powerful. Just don't be surprised
careful.
by it. Yeah,
that's the Chubby Surprise.
Yeah.
So did it have an effectiveness on the? Yes, the Chubby Surprise is effective. It's most effective the first time because it's a surprise.
All right, but then
after that, it's just like regular effective. It's got like a 2-point buff the first time. Yeah,
but it's impressive, but not a surprise anymore. It's still impressive, but
yes, they know afterwards.
Are you willing to do this again? But this is a joke, I guess. But also, serious question: what was something you took away from this season that you didn't in season 1?
This is probably my last season. This season,
that's how you feel right now.
Yeah, fair. Are there any takeaways that I took from this season that I didn't season 1? Let's see. Being able to communicate is so important. Like, being able to fight is one thing, but being able to communicate under stress and under pressure, I think it makes a world of difference. And also just thinking through processes that aren't fighting, not even just verbally, but like spatially or environment wise. It's huge, but you should be able to fight too.
Were you? Oh, this Nerf Wars Duelish asks this every single participant. And this is like the third time I brought it up, but just in case, because there was a bit of controversy, I guess, about season 1. So I thought, why not talk about season 3? So were you happy with the level of safety provided by the organizers, both in terms of gear provided as well as the level of restraint control of your opposition during simulations? How does it compare to season 1? Oh, this is an add-on, which is great because you can actually compare season 1 and season 3.
That's a good point. Was there at any point I was like, this is dangerous? I don't think so. I think there was one point where I was like, because production value was higher, it took longer to get to stuff sometimes. So like it was harder to warm up at the right time, but that was usually like the worst of it, is not always being warm. I thought season 1, aside from like I didn't feel like season 1 was unsafe. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think it was unsafe. Season 3 was definitely not unsafe. There's one thing. Season 1, probably somebody shouldn't have thrown a dummy off the rafters. I don't know if you guys remember that from the zombies. That's probably the one thing that I'm like, that probably shouldn't happen. But
yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Everything else I felt like was safe. I felt like this season was different, but still safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally agree, because
I feel like lots of precautions were taken.
True. That's what I was about to add as well. Like season 1, people just totally forget and erase me that I was actually a contestant in season 1. That's
a good point.
Yeah, I'm like, nobody remembers.
Yeah, you were in it.
But I was in it.
Yeah,
and
you medaled.
And I didn't feel like things were unsafe as well, but I understand why some people had that sentiment. They're like, oh, moving bus, or like the bridge fight. I never even occurred to me like that the bridge fight was dangerous. I don't think it was.
I think because they weren't in our heads for season 1. For season 1, when we were on the bridge, like I looked over and I was like, this is sketchy. But I knew that me and you and Jeff, who else fought on that one? Ramsey didn't. It was just me, you, Jeff, and Mike, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Weren't going to throw each other off the bridge.
100%.
Like, we checked the rails. The rails weren't going to go anywhere. We weren't going to bump each other into the rails. You noticed that all of us stay very centered in the bridge.
Yeah.
And don't do anything stupid. We were a big part of our own safety in that too. And then season 3 also had medical staff, which is just something I thought about now. So that was a pretty good upgrade. Yeah.
True. And also, so I agree that season 1 didn't feel unsafe, but then season 3, because again, I was there supervising, directing. I just am aware that there was much more of the mindset of anything that can go wrong, let's make sure to bulletproof it, like add padding and even like some scenarios were switched last minute to just make sure that nothing that could go wrong. I mean, you cannot prevent everything, but I was
You interviewed Randy already, right?
Yeah, he actually did kind of mention that, but he didn't reveal too much. So things happened, but especially after that event, and it was pretty early on in the championship. I was like, I came to the mindset of if something can go bad, it's gonna go bad. So let's avoid it. And then I was just like standing there, looking at the environment, looking at the scenario, double checking with people, with the medical staff. I was like, let's bulletproof this. So that was very much the mindset. Where in season 1 it was more like, I think it was more about it. We didn't feel unsafe, but also we felt safe with each other. We're like, we got this. But then season 3, there was more attention to like doing the best all around to. After season 1, your mind, so I believe, I assume this is something you spoke about, your mind learned that your body doesn't care if the scenario is real. The psychological response is similar to an actual threat. Has that changed? Are you able to think and plan more strategically, or does fight or flight still reign supreme?
I was able to. I think I was able to disassociate it from real danger a little bit more this season, but I did my best not to, because I don't think that helps. I don't think it helps the show. I don't think it helps learning from the show and like getting actual data from these challenges and things. Like, this isn't just a show. It's also with the purpose of proving or disproving things in self-defense and martial arts. So anytime I could, if Rokas was like, hey, Seth, this is what you're doing, this is who you are, this is where you are, this is this person and this person. In my head, I was like, okay, that is all the honest truth, and this is now my life. There were definitely still times where I like got scared and fight or flight did turn on, but I think it was more manageable this season.
Yeah. I was thinking, what we spoke about before, like you being more in competitive environment, go against guys you don't know, top level athletes. I imagine that also preps you to feeling like, okay, I've been here before. Would you say?
Yeah. The hard part is definitely when things don't feel like a controlled environment like a competition does. There was moments where things get crazy, and I think that's when it really changes.
Right, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, we have time for a couple more.
Let's get them.
Number 8. What's next for Sensei Seth? So, any future plans?
I know Sumo Worlds in Japan is 2027. Hopefully we can get Sumo to the Olympics at some point. That would be sick. I think traveling and showing off more culture and martial arts that is as authentic as it can be. I think that's high up on my list of things to do next. I want to go back to making fun YouTube videos mostly.
Yeah, nice. That'd be great.
Yeah.
And one more. So I thought this is a nice kind of personal question.
Yeah.
When you were younger, did you see yourself where you are now?
I don't think I was thinking about doing martial arts as a life when I was younger. I thought I was going to play football for sure. And then I maybe around like 22, I was like, well, I'm not going to play football forever. And then I started to envision this life where I got to travel and do martial arts. Actually, in grad school, this is a fun story. I had a notebook where I would just like write down stuff I wanted to do. And at one point I drew this logo, and it was the world and like a bunch of martial arts people standing on different countries and stuff. And then like a logo, it said, like the martial arts completionist or something. And it was a television show that I had in mind where I traveled around the world and tried every single martial art. And then I just totally forgot about that. That was completely erased from my memory.
How old were you again?
Maybe 21,
Okay.
21.
Yeah.
And then I just went back to teaching after I finished grad school. And then I started making YouTube videos years later. And then somebody sent me a message that was like, yo, dude, you did it. I remember that the little logo that you drew. And I was like, logo that I drew? I had no memory of it at all. So yes, I am doing what I've wanted to do in martial arts. But no, I don't think I would have expected this.
That's very cool. Also reflecting, because we share the lifestyle of a creator, content creator, and although all of these lifestyles are different, there's similarities. But also when looking back, when we were children or even teenagers, YouTube didn't even exist back then, right? It's like now kids are like, I'm gonna be a YouTuber, or I think it's more TikTok these days, or Instagram star. Apparently, that's what I'm told. But like, we didn't even have that option to dream that. But so yeah, it's almost impossible to imagine.
No, I never really thought about it. Yeah, Dude Perfect, I think, was the first one that I was like, I want to be like Dude Perfect. Like, I went out and made trick shot videos, and then realized I was like not good at them, and they were really hard. And I was like, oh, well, that's it.
but still, that fact that you had some vision of being a martial art completionist, it's pretty cool. Cool. It's still happened. Awesome. Okay, a couple final questions from my end. So the first one is, what can people expect from season 3?
Beep. And then you can also expect beep. And then, dude, just when you think that it can't get any crazier, beep, 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 beep. You can expect a very high quality experience. You can expect like very unexpected twists and turns. Like, I wish I could say things that happen. Like, I wish the action is great. The situations are very realistic. There were multiple times where I was like, dude, I could totally see that happening. And it made me uneasy having to go through it. And then also there's moments where I just had to stop and be like, who set this up? like what production company was a part of this? You should, I haven't seen the edit, but from living it, it was absolutely insane.
Got to hear it. I think that sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Final question again, for those few people in the world who don't know where to find you. What's the main source of your content right now?
I would say definitely YouTube. If you want to be updated on like news and things that are happening, or if you want to, like, sometimes I'll ask questions on Instagram, and if you want to be parts of a video, then like Instagram's the place to be. That's about it. If you search Sensei Seth wherever you like to view content, then I'm probably there.